Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to this episode of the ShadowCast. I am, of course, the Black Shadow, and well, we're keeping ourselves up pretty well. Of course, we've just brought an end to the 500 subscriber special of Resident Evil Remake, it was quite nice actually to revisit the game in the end. I wasn't 100% sure just considering we'd already played the game as such, I wasn't quite sure just how, when people were going to watch the special versions. But I must admit, folks, I was quite pleasantly surprised. It proved to be, a lot more people watching than I actually thought there would be, to be honest, folks. So, I do appreciate that. Okay, so moving on to, obviously the reason the ShadowCast. Obviously, there is some mention to be made of Let's Play series that will be coming up in the near future, but before I do that, there is something I need to address, and this is only something that's only come up earlier today. Now, when I started doing this channel, best part of 3 years ago now, goodness sakes. When I started doing this channel, one thing that I did a lot, and obviously I communicate a lot with people, obviously via the comments in the videos. But sometimes people wanted to ask me, particular questions about this, that, and the other, and people would contact me, through the private messaging system on YouTube, which seems very logical. You watch my YouTube channel. If you want to contact me about something in particular, you do that. Now, ever since all this carnage began with Google Plus, as I'm sure you will all remember, not that long ago, only a few months ago, when everyone was forced to go on that and all that sort of things, intentional or not, during this process, I lost the ability to receive notifications of when I had messages arrive in my YouTube personal inbox, which is something that I did have for a while, so I was able to contact people for that if necessary. Now, considering that it has been several months since that's happened, I must admit I kind of forgot it ever existed, and I was looking through the channel, and I clicked on the wrong button basically, went into the community section and thought, oh my goodness me, I've got an inbox, haven't I? And I looked through. And I must apologise to anyone who has tried to contact me via personal messaging over about 4 or 5 months, folks, because you might well have messaged me, I might well have got it, but I never received notification, so I never knew it was there. And I did receive several messages from various people, some with words of encouragement and advice, some with questions over how to run particular emulators, or about this thing, that thing, that thing. And I must apologise to you all because I never answered, because I kind of never knew I'd actually got it in the first place. I really do apologise. I will say now, if anyone does want to contact me at all, be it publicly or privately, please contact me via my Twitter account at BlackShadow993. Which I have. I already connected to that, so at the moment any video goes up, you'll get an instant update. The video has gone live, which is quite a useful little feature anyways, and also I'm regularly on it, so if anyone does contact me either publicly or privately, I will know about it and I will respond in kind with you ASAP, folks. If anyone's got any questions, anything, please contact me through them, because otherwise I'll never realise you sent me the message, and thus I'll probably never ever respond. So I figured that I'd just get that one out of the way. Okay, so that's that done. So that's the difficult bit. So now on to more proper business in regards to what are we going to be doing for the foreseeable future here at Black Shadow Inc. Well. Okay, I didn't know what song I was going to play next. I'm sure you guys will remember what this is for. Now, of course, so you guys know, and I have made several mentions of it now in the, especially in the remake LP, that the next LP that will be coming up on here at BS Inc. is going to finally be Silent Hill 2. It is imminent. It is due. Hopefully, I will be able to begin recording that tomorrow. That is the plan. And then, of course, I've got the whole weekend. I mean, I was tempting to try and start it in the middle of this week, but it would have been a bit stop-starty, and I didn't really think it was really fair in the LP, so I figured I'd just wait until the weekend comes and just get recording then. I thought it was fairer to the LP, certainly, and also fairer to you guys. I know the end of Remake was a bit stop-starty, because it's just it was so busy. I mean, it's like last week I was in work every day of the week. No, every day, weekend and weekdays and weekends. I was in all 7 days. I was in work. In a complete nightmare. But it's just how it had been. So that's annoying. Although to be fair in that respect, I mean, the week of the 21st was my birthday. To the 25th, I've actually booked the entire week off in annual leave. So I'm basically sidelining quite a lot of that time purely for LPing purposes. So yeah, that'll be good. But yeah, so Silent Hill 2 is going to be, is on our way. No more Harry Mason, I'm afraid. We will have another fellow to deal with and to delve into his personal issues. However, this is not going to be any old Silent Hill 2 LP, folks. And there's a simple reason for this. You see, I've played Silent Hill 2 before, and it's a fantastic game. It's a brilliant game, one of the better games I think I've ever played. However, I have been trying to think for a couple of hours now when on earth the last time it was that I have played Silent Hill 2. And I'm going to be honest, guys, I don't know. All I remember was that the last time that I think I ever played it was back at my old house when the PS2 was still plugged into the living room. Now, considering that this was way before I got a 360, you got to be looking probably the best part of 10 years maybe since I've last played that game. I barely remember the story, let alone what happens in the game, folks. And it's been on my mind. Well, if I'm going to do this, how am I going to tackle this? I mean, I could easily research it and sort of try and remember a lot of the stuff and go that way, go on a guide. But I'm going to be kind of honest, folks. Whenever I have done LPs before, and I've done it, obviously I know the game, and I've given you guys sort of lots of advice and tips here and there. It's generally because I remember a lot of the game anyways. I will sometimes, in the case of like Final Fantasy games, I will also look at external sources of information for technical bits that I don't know, like enemy statistics, that sort of thing. But I still remember largely what the heck it is I'm actually doing. But that's not the case with Silent Hill 2. I barely remember anything about it. And I'm serious, I really am. Silent Hill 1, I did remember a bit. It was quite memorable. Silent Hill 3, I've played a lot more recently. Not recent, but a lot more recently. And I remember a reasonable amount of that game. Silent Hill 2 is just like a grey patch. I don't remember at all. So what I decided, for better or worse, I don't know, is that I could have looked up all the stuff I could have done on to do with Silent Hill 2, but I am deciding that is not what I am going to do, folks. Instead of that, I have decided that I am going to go ahead and play Silent Hill 2 semi-blind. Because I think it's only fair. I just don't remember anything about that game. I honestly don't. And I can't see me playing through that game making much of a difference, folks. So we are going to I'm going to go into this having not looked at anything. And to see what tiny nuggets I may or may not have remembered after 10 years, folks. And 10 years is a long, long, long time, folks. So I don't know what you guys will make of that. It's not something we've ever done. Games have either been blind or I've researched fully and I know what I'm doing. But I honestly cannot remember. I tried. I've sat here and tried to remember stuff and no good. I just can't fathom it. It's really weird, folks. It's never really happened to me before in a game, but that's the decision. I hope you guys are going to be happy with that. It should prove a bit interesting, actually, again. We've not done it before. And, you know, I won't have any opportunities to do a Silent Hill game blind, really, or anywhere near blind, so I suppose this is probably about as good as we're ever going to get. So that is going to be that. Of course, you know, if you guys are like, oh no, don't do it, Shadow, research, then I'll go ahead, I will research it, but it means I'm probably going to have to begin with the other Let's Play series that I have in mind, folks, and that, of course, was going to be the X-Files, which I was a bit looking forward to doing. I think it would have been a lot of fun, actually. It's going to be a good game, that up to LP, just because it's very unique, that's for sure. But no, I decided to put it back, and as I have mentioned beforehand, this is due mainly to the passing of Rick Mail just a couple weeks or so ago. Rick Mail, probably one of the icons of my childhood, folks. I mean, he was arguably a little bit before my time, but I watched plenty of stuff with him in it, and you know, it is a great loss to the world of British drama, British comedy. That Rick Mail has passed on, folks, and so there was an LP that he featured in very prominently that I have been looking to LP for a fair while, folks. So it was just thinking, well, when's a good place to do it? You know, it's like some of the LPs have done. I just wasn't really sure, and then this happened, and in a somewhat ironic sort of way around it. It seems as good a reason to do this game as any. So it should be really good. It's a little bit of a personal thing, as much as a bit like when I LP'd Solar Jetman a little bit. It was a game that not many people had ever heard of. You know, it was one of those sort of diamonds in the rough. But I absolutely loved it to bits when I was a child. It was a fantastic game, you know, and I just wanted to be able to. You know, I enjoy doing, obviously, the Resident Evil games that we know a lot about, you know, and Silent Hills, and a lot of the bigger franchises, Final Fantasies and that. But it's just nice to delve into the games that were a lot of fun to play, but, you know, they never quite reached that level of acclaim, sadly. And it's always nice and fun to just delve into these things, because you never quite know who may or may not have ever heard of it, for starters, let alone played it. So what we're going to do with that is, I'll put up a little bit about that at the end of this video quickly. But before I do it, I do need to make one mention as well. There is, of course, after those two, there are questions of what's going to go on afterwards, folks. Now, I'll be honest, it's a little bit up in the air. I haven't quite decided yet. I mean, I'm going to do X-Files as the next side LP. I really do want to do that. But the next main LP has not been decided at all. I'm not sure at this moment in time. And, you know, there's games that I want to do, but again, it's starting to get to the point where it's like, you know, we only did Final Fantasy not too long ago. We only finished Final Fantasy 8, it was, I think. It wasn't all that long ago since we finished it. You know, and I had been looking to do the next Final Fantasy game, which will be Final Fantasy X, but not actually immediately yet, folks. I'm looking to do that. I was kind of looking to do that a little bit later on to the year, sort of coming into the autumn. Then I was looking to do that. Grand Theft Auto series, of course, the next GTA game we've got due is the one and only San Andreas, but we only did GTA 3 not too long ago, and so again, I don't want to do that just yet. We've only just done Resident Evil, Silent Hill. We've only just done Resident Evil as well, for that matter. So I'm gonna get back to you guys on that at a later date. I'm gonna have to do a bit of brainstorming, as well as, of course, I always take suggestions and, you know, of anything anyone has in particular. And I will certainly look at them. Some things I can do, some things are more difficult for me to be able to set up, but I will certainly take suggestions, you know, as I always do. I'll take them in, and then some point later on down the line, a bit like what we did going into like sort of Code Veronica and several other LPs, was I'm probably going to just put up several games and just see what you guys make of them. What are we thinking? What want me to do it? You know, what do you want me to do first? Voting, if you want to call it that, I guess, because it worked. You know, it seemed quite a good way of doing it, and you know, there's going to be a lot of options, I think, as well. So we'll do that. I'll do that in the near future. It's kind of a case of watch this space. Yeah, I'll let you guys know when that bit's sort of coming up, but it ain't going to be for probably a few weeks or so. But I've got to put things together, basically, and that's again part of the have my week off as well is to do that as well. So should be interesting. Should be interesting. Okay, so I'm trying to think if there's anything else left for me to make a mention of. I can't think off the top of my head. You know, as always, you know, you can always leave questions or anything particular. You know, and I will get back to you. You know, I see, I may not be able to see notifications on my YouTube inbox anymore, but I can see any comment posted on just about any video I have at any time. You know, the power. It's very, very corrupting, unfortunately. But yeah, folks. So we will be heading back into the world of Silent Hill finally after. When did I first announce that game? It must have been about a year ago that I first announced that we were going to be doing that game. It just hasn't happened. For one reason or another, this thing's come up, that thing's come up. Oh, it's been a bit of a nightmare, folks. But finally, that nightmare will become a reality, folks. And I think it's going to be good. So I hope you guys will enjoy Silent Hill 2. I hope you might be intrigued about the, effectively doing it blind. Some of you guys probably remember the game far better than I do. I just can't fathom it. It's weird. It's like an empty hole in my mind and my memory. It's just something missing. It's weird. But we will be doing that, and we will also, along with that, I will be paying my own personal homage, if you will, to I think one of the great cult heroes of British comedy, folks, Rick Mail. And all I can say is we did Wormswell Party, and it's now time for some Hogs of War. See you soon.
Left, right, squad, halt, about, turn. Never have I seen such a shower in all my life. You recruits are here for one reason only, and that reason is war. I said war. Are you in love, Private? Then don't look at me or give me nightmares. Lights. Australasia, a collection of islands in the South Pacific. Reconnaissance has shown that these islands are rich in swill. Shut up! Swill is the lifeblood of pigs. Control the swill, and you control the world. And that means war. What does it mean?
War, Sergeant!
Precisely. And as soldiers, our job is to fight, destroy, with guns and bombs and knives and with your bare hands. But before that avenue of pleasure, a series of training films to prepare you for every eventuality in the theater of warfare. Roll it! Armies on the march. The world divided. The threat of attack from the land, the sea, and the air. No Sunday roast this week. While the soldiers are in the thick of it, back home there's plenty of work to go around, like making high-explosive bombs, anti-tank bombs, and making other bombs. So let's make the most of it. That's the ticket. And remember, lads, a war is won at home and not just on the battlefield. There is no excuse for malingering. With any luck, it should all have blown over by Christmas.